I said, anybody have any Tic Tacs? And the guy said, yeah, I have one. Look at the size of that sucker. Can you see that, Pete? This is called Biden Tic Tacs. But Americans are not struggling. You know, this is the worst platform. Who put this stage up here? This is the worst. The frickin' place is falling down.
You know, water. I had a deal for water to come down from the north. They have so much water, and they don't do it because they're trying to protect a tiny, tiny little fish that hasn't made it. And millions of gallons of water are sent into the Pacific Ocean, routed right into the Pacific.
You're an idiot.
What's up, guys? Boston Brian here from the MeidasTouch Network. And what you just heard was complete and utter nonsense. I mean, if my grandfather woke up one morning and started talking like that, I would make several phone calls hoping that someone would come check him out and then check him into a home, because that is just absolutely ridiculous. Donald Trump spent most of last week once again proving to everybody, every single time he opened his mouth, that the man deserves to be nowhere near the office of the President of the United States. And anybody that continues to support the man and anybody that will continue to vote for the man is absolutely delusional. Whether it be his demeaning and degrading rhetoric, whether it be his meandering, incoherent, senseless rants, some of which you just heard, whether it be his falling asleep at his criminal trial every single day of his criminal trial in Manhattan, whether it be his bitching and complaining to the cameras both before and after each day of his criminal trial in Manhattan, whether it be his slurred speech, whether it be him almost falling off the stage in Minnesota, whether it be his showing up over 2 hours late to the NRA convention in Dallas, too loud boos from the crowd, I might add, or whether it be his anti-Semitic attacks that he decided to bring out on Hugh Hewitt's show last week, like this one.
How a person that's Jewish can vote for this guy who's obviously mentally impaired. How a Jewish person can vote for him is beyond belief. I have friends that are Democrats. You know, they're good people. They're Jewish and they're Democrats. And that's just fine being a Democrat. But I say, how do you vote for this guy? And many of them say we won't.
And when this giant sack of orange wrinkles and chin skin wasn't busy degrading, demeaning, and disrespecting every Jewish American in this country or rant and raving about tiny fish, he was once again confusing capitals with country, as he does here, confusing the capital of China, Beijing, with the country of Taiwan.
If you look at you take a look at President Xi of China, talking about Beijing. Now, they've got ships circling, they have planes, but they never were doing anything. President Xi of China with Taiwan, and I said, if you do that, it's going to be so bad for Beijing. You don't want to do that. It's going to be so bad for Beijing. He said, but what do you mean by that? You have to think about that. You're going to have to think about that.
Hey, listen, I'm no geography expert, but I can probably tell you that President Xi's going to have a little bit of trouble getting his ships to circle Beijing, considering, I don't know, it's the landlocked capital of his own country, but I digress. In case you needed just a little more evidence as to Donald Trump's lack of intelligence, as to his lack of understanding of history, especially American history, but both American history and foreign history, here he is trying to tell you how much he loves FDR's tone. And then I'm pretty sure he recites some of Winston Churchill's speeches from World War II, I don't know, you try to figure this out. Here's Donald Trump trying to quote FDR.
But I watched where they were saying how great this was. This was the greatest performance since FDR. You know, FDR had the golden tone. And he would sit up and he'd give a State of the Union speech. FDR, beautiful voice, beautiful, very highly educated guy, and beautiful tone. We will fight, and nobody will beat us. We will fight and fight and fight. And, you know, he'd do it so beautifully. And then Joe Biden,
Hey, here's an idea, you orange-crusted, bigoted buffoon, and just hear me out on this one. Maybe, instead of keeping a book of Hitler's speeches next to your bed, you would have been better off keeping a book of, I don't know, FDR's speeches next to your bed, so you didn't look like a complete asshole at your rally in New Jersey. You know, the same rally you claim 107,000 people showed up. That's just an absolutely absurd number. I'm pretty sure they counted everybody in town, everybody in the next state, and everybody in, I don't know, friggin' Ohio to get that number to 107,000 for your rally. Anyways, Donald Trump went from there to, again, laying down rakes for himself to step on, and again, digging holes for himself to fall in, when he, again, at this New Jersey rally, claims that nobody was leaving the speech. Not one person had left the speech. Nobody ever leaves his rally. The only problem? There was other people filming people leaving his rally as he was speaking. many people leaving his rally as he was speaking. Yeah, check this out.
You know, we're up here screaming like a lunatic. It was a little bit warm. Now it's so beautiful. I hope nobody's cold. But I haven't noticed anybody leaving. There's nobody leaving. They never leave. If they leave, when they start leaving, it's time for me to hang it up, right? Right? I used to say, I think I'm going to make it 15. You could take the 10 worst presidents in the history of our country, add them up. The worst presidents, take them. Give me the 10 worst names. They haven't done the damage to our country that this total moron has done. Okay?
The worst part is the man does it to himself. I mean, if he did not claim that there was over 107,000 people at this rally, there wouldn't be much reason for people to go ahead and dispute that claim and to figure out the actual figures of how many people were there. If he didn't claim that nobody, not a single person, ever leaves or was leaving this rally, there wouldn't be any reason for people like me to be sitting here calling it out. But unfortunately, like I said, he must have some guy that just goes around laying rakes in front of every path that he's about to take so he can go ahead and step on him and step on him and step on him. And when he's done with that, he goes ahead and he digs his own hole and he just dives right the hell in it, because this is it's insane to me that he himself, probably one of the persons in the best position to see if people are leaving this rally, because he's facing that way. So if anybody should know that people were leaving, mass groups of people were leaving as he was speaking, it's Donald Trump himself. Of course, being no stranger to looking and sounding like an absolute moron, i.e. the 107,000 people at his rally, or the fact that nobody was leaving, or the fact that he mixed up Taiwan and Beijing, or the fact that he was talking about little fish. Anyway, the fact that he's just an absolute moron, he decided he'd go on and then talk about how the United States of America, you know, the one that has oceans in between it and its enemies. Anyway, it has been decided through Donald Trump's campaign that we need an iron dome over the United States. That means that, I don't know if Donald Trump's rich friends know this, the ones that own the beachfront property, but that means there's going to be missile installations going around the entirety of the coast of the United States of America. Now, I'm not sure what that's going to do to property values, but I'm pretty sure that's going to bring down the scenery just a little bit. Here he is once again actually claiming that the United States has any need whatsoever to spend billions of dollars trying to outfit the entire coast with missile defense systems to shoot down some rockets that are not coming from anywhere anytime soon. But also the fact that, like I said, it would just absolutely ruin the scenery, ruin property values, and absolutely destroy any sense of freedom we have when we're walking down the beaches and our dogs are running around missile defense systems and we have to, walk around the missile silos to get to our beach towel. We have to walk around the missile silos to get to the ice cream truck. Is that how it's going to work? Yeah, check this clip out. It's just insane.
And we will build a great iron dome over our country, a dome like has never been seen before, a state-of-the-art missile defense shield that will be entirely built in America and create jobs. Don't you think, I watch Israel and I watch those rockets go up, 300 rockets go up, and virtually every one of them is knocked down. Well, we're a big target, and the level of power, power of these weapons, especially the nuclear weapons, the power is so incredible. We deserve to have a dome like other countries have domes, like Israel has a dome. Think of Israel without the dome, without the Iron Dome, or whatever you want to call it, but that's what it is.
I mean, at this point, I'm not so sure that Donald Trump doesn't honestly believe there's an actual Iron Dome that will be floated above this country. I'm not so sure he doesn't actually believe right now there's a huge Iron Dome covering Israel. I mean, because he obviously doesn't know that Hannibal Lecter is a fictitious character made to scare the shit out of people. Not a nice man, not a real man, and not somebody to be emulated. But here he is, sounding like an absolute nut job at his rally in Minnesota, talking about Hannibal Lecter like he's a real person, actually praising Hannibal Lecter. The guy that ate other people. That guy, Donald Trump's praising him. Yeah, check it out.
The mental institution population is down because they're taking people from insane asylums and from mental institution. You know what the difference is, right? An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids. Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen the Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner as this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner, but Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country.
It's just very ironic to me that Donald Trump, the nominee for the GOP to become president of the United States of America, as he's praising Hannibal Lecter, actually sounds like he's auditioning for his own padded cell. I mean, it never ceases to amaze me how unpresidential, how unfit for office this man actually is. So as Donald Trump continues to get more and more divisive with every speech, more and more dangerous with every appearance in front of media cameras, it becomes more and more important for us to get absolutely as much involved into this election as we possibly can, to get our friends, our family, our co-workers involved in this election in any way, shape, or form they possibly can. Make sure that these people know how important it is for you to get out and vote. And not only get out and vote, but to get out and vote for Joe Biden. Because we do not want these people in charge anymore. We do not want to be dealing with this for another 4 more years. Can you imagine? In this country, American politicians simping in costume in front of a criminal trial for an adjudicated rapist, for a man that could care less about them. The Speaker of the House, the Speaker of the friggin' House of Representatives, the second in line to the President of the United States, simping at a criminal trial for an adjudicated rapist that would not piss on him if he was on fire. These are extremely important times. So if you like what you're hearing, you like what I'm saying, please feel free to like, feel free to subscribe. We are on our way at MeidasTouch to 3 million subscribers. You can also check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. And if you'd like to help out independent creators like myself who have nobody above them telling them what they can and cannot say, you can check me out at patreon.com/BostonBrian. We must continue to get the word out. We must continue to let people know who may not be as politically involved as you or I, how dangerous the GOP is, how dangerous Donald Trump in his rhetoric and his policies and his visions for this country. Project 2025, Agenda 47. He's telling you with his own mouth. I mean, you saw this week, he wants to establish a new Reich. I mean, I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would hear, as somebody who studies World War II, another nation, another government, another regime refer to themselves as a Reich ever again. But Donald Trump put out a video that did just that. So guys, please make sure you're staying loud, staying proud, make sure you're staying involved, make sure you're staying right here at the MeidasTouch Network to get all the latest breaking news, all things politically related, all things Trump related, all things Trump trial related. You can also check out the news on MeidasTouch.com. Until next time, I'm Boston Brian. Keep kicking ass.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.